17-7. The Cowboys on top here in Laramie on homecoming, and you look at the numbers, it has been a relatively dominant performance thus far. Utah State gets its only touchdown of the game after a muff punt by Wyatt Whelan. And when you talk about stats, Utah State has 75 yards total. Titus Swin has 103 yards total.
That's what we talked about at the top of the show. That's who they wanted to establish. That's who they felt like they weren't getting enough out of. They thought their front was blocking it great for Titus Swin, and he should have better numbers at this point of the season. And man, did he take that to heart. Really just taking over the first half, knocking people over. Very, very purposeful run game. Fullbacks, tight ends, and that has opened things up for the entire Wyoming offense, Peasley. And like you said, it was really that muffed punt that gave Utah State any kind of momentum and the touchdown. Wyoming took that momentum back, getting a field goal right at the end of the half.
Andrew Peasley has looked pretty good, 159 passing yards, more than his average per game coming in. He's hit a couple of shot plays. He certainly likes hooking up with his tight end, Trayton Welch. Wyatt Whelan caught that long pass that set up the field goal just before halftime. And so far, so good for Wyoming. The Cowboys here on homecoming doing exactly what they wanted to do, establishing that physical mentality that has been their persona since head coach Craig Bull has come to town, now in his 9th season here in Laramie.
I have to imagine he's pretty happy with what he's seeing from his team coming off the bye week and kind of recharging their batteries.
And the second half is now underway. And we have Vaughn out past the 25 by maybe about half a yard. And yeah, you talked about that bye week and how important it was for the Cowboys. Every coach we talked to on the Wyoming staff said we could just sense that we were running out of gas, playing that week 0 game, not having a bye week. They played some tough opponents, and it was really a chance for them to get re-energized on both sides of the ball. Craig Bull said even quarterback Andrew Peasley had a chance to rest a hip injury. And now his defense, hoping they can continue to contain Calvin Tyler and this offense that has not done much on the ground, but starting out strong here in the second half with Terrell Vaughn hauling that in on first down.
Get a little isolation route with Vaughn. Rook Brown on the coverage there, and a lot of cushion there to get it to Vaughn underneath, creating a short yardage situation.
Tyler on 2nd and 1. He does pick up the first down after the 2-yard gain. So Tyler, 6 carries for just 13 yards. Remember, he came into this game, Petros, 3 straight 100-yard games.
And Wyoming is keyed on him not doing that. He had the one catch that set up the touchdown after the turnover.
Davenport looking downfield, and he's picked off. Wyatt Eckler was there. He was looking for big Justin McGriff, but Eckler making a nice play on the ball.
It looked like McGriff had a chance at this ball, but he just could not locate it. The ball was in the air, and McGriff would have had a shot at it with his height, but he could not locate it. And Wyatt Eckler, who had a very good first half and was a great high school running back, knows what to do getting that ball, but this one kind of hung up there for a while, and McGriff is, yeah, he sort of saw it float to the inside on him, and Eckler was there making an athletic play.
From the 23-yard line. Swin again trying to cut it back, and he does. And Titus Swin over 100 yards after picking up 7.
They got to his feet right at the line of scrimmage, but when you see him break that tackle, everybody gasped. That's Vaughn Pachon that just can't really bring him down, and once he gets a little bit of a head of steam, he becomes a lot more difficult to tackle. Bludgeoning back, and you see the rushing yards between Swin and just what the Aggies have done as a team.
here he is again. Picking up 4. So 109 yards on 21 carries for Swen, a season high. Just one 100-yard game this season coming in. And we talked about how they expect more Petros, averaging 5.1 yards per carry. That's where they expect him to be.
And he's running with a lot more confidence tonight. I mean, big swooping cuts now in the second half. He's got good ball security. He's feeling it.
Beasley complete to Wheeland. Another first down for the Cowboys, marching down the field so far on this drive.
Things have become a lot more comfortable for Beasley in the pocket because Swen has been doing his thing, and an out route for Wheeland and a heck of a lot of cushion there for them to execute that play, moving the sticks for the Pokes.
Got to credit this Wyoming offensive line. Erica Boger at left tackle, Frank Crum at right tackle. Certainly the interior of this line creating some holes. Running room for DQ James and company. And another first down for the Cowboys. Every time DQ James touches the ball, he picks up a first down. This time he goes for 11.
I like him as a changeup. He's going to end up on the edge here. And he gets all the way outside Driscoll's block, who was unable to hook Hunter Reynolds, but the speed of DQ James kind of erases that. And his fresh legs and that changeup from Swen has been good for the Cowboys.
What did you call DQ James earlier?
MC Fresh Legs. Well, when you're running the ball 4 yards of carry, grinding it out, they bring in MC Fresh Legs to score the touchdown.
Why not? Beasley rolling to his left. That's a tough throw. He's way out of bounds.
Beasley's pass will go out of bounds.
Trying a lot more of these first down throws. That one to Ryan Marcus out of Arvada, Colorado. You know who's from Arvada, Colorado?
John Lynch.
Close.
John Lynch is from San Diego.
Fox Sports football royalty. Joel Klatt.
Nice work. Nice work. I knew he was from Colorado. I didn't know Arvada, Colorado.
Pomona High School, Arvada, Colorado. Son of a coach.
There's Swen on 2nd and 10. How about that power? Third down coming up, picks up 6. He was met right at the line of scrimmage. He carried about 4 Aggies with him for an extra 4 yards.
Yeah, extra strength, and that's what this guy has. He just has strength in his legs to push people, and you see the huffing and puffing from the Aggies defense. They have had way too much to handle tonight and been on the field for far too long.
Motuaka Puaka running off the field, 3rd and 4 here for the Cowboys. First third down of the drive. This time they're able to hold Swen. 1 yard gain, so 4th down coming up. You're right, he's just been decisive. He's been downhill. One cut and go, and just brings the power exactly like Craig Bull likes it.
Yeah, Bull's mad they threw it on first down earlier there. They have a 4th and 3.
55-yard field goal attempt for John Hoyland. It would tie his season long, but he hangs it out there just a bit right.
At the distance.
It certainly did. He's done it before, but Utah State able to keep points off the board. Small victories for the Aggies, small victories. Fox College Football is sponsored by Chase Sapphire. Make more of what's yours. These guys are making more tonight. Why not? You got a scarf, you got hats, we saw some makeup earlier, beads, you got the Mardi Gras beads on. Homecoming.
Overalls are an interesting look for college football games that I've never quite understood. But
yeah, you are from Southern California. You wouldn't understand
that's true.
Such things. Calvin Tyler with, believe it or not, one of his more productive runs of the game. That's a pickup of 5 And as a matter of fact, that was his longest run.
Yeah, they've just not been able to get him going. Still enough time to do so, and still a close enough game to try to establish that run game, and maybe Davenport running it too.
Davenport picks up 3, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and short. And that was Shea Suinoa. Suinoa on the tackle.
2nd in a row for him. Sophomore out of Houston.
Looks like a busted play. Davenport able to pick up the 1st down. Wyatt Eckler is on the stop.
Yeah, he kicked flying at the backfield. Eckler did. I don't think he got it.
I think you're right. They're going to spot it just a football or 2 shy. So that's going to bring up 4th and 1. Great stop by Eckler. And from their own 47, the Aggies are going for it. And Tyler able to pick it up. Crucial 4th down play there. 6-yard gain for Tyler. That's now his longest run of the game. And Suinoa on the stop.
Broke a tackle right at the line of scrimmage and then kind of fought his way through. We'll see if they could get some consistency going now.
Here's Davenport. And he goes into the slide, 2-yard gain. He's calling for the penalty on Gavin Meyer. Kind of jumped on a little bit late. Which ironically is one of the things that we saw take out another quarterback earlier. When those slides come in late, it's hard for those defensive players to kind of figure out what they're doing.
Tough to know what to do with a quarterback running the football in modern times.
Again, keeping it on the ground. Tyler with room. And to the 30-yard line, and they are moving. 15-yard run for Tyler.
They found some room for the Oregon State transfer. Calvin Tyler trickling off to the right. He starts in the middle and kind of finds a little bit of space, finishes that run well. And Utah State with the most promising looking offensive production they've had all night, and it's midway through the 3rd quarter.
5 carries, 11 yards in the first half for Tyler. 4 for 27 in the 2nd. Tyler again takes his time and then turns on the afterburners, breaking some tackles. Tyler into the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies.
31 yards for the touchdown.
Just when you thought the Aggies were not going to be able to get anything done, look at Chandler Dolphin skipping around the center and making a great block on Suinoa that creates the hole for Tyler to run through, and he finishes the run well. He even switches the ball at the very end there at the goal line as the Aggies right back in it with a touchdown, making a game of it.
A 31-yard run, Utah State's 2nd longest run of the season. And suddenly this ground game for Utah State, Calvin Tyler in particular, have come to life, running through this Cowboys defense.
Sweet, we got to see it twice from Chandler Dolphin getting the Aggies back in it. Look at him skip around the guard and just make a great block, sealing things off on Suinoa to get Calvin Tyler into the open field. And he starts having some long runs. And the great Chandler Dolphin, the senior out of Sandy, Utah, making it work.
Alta High School.
Hawks.
Well done. You like the way I put that on a tee for you?
Yeah.
We have a ball game, folks. And the return is on. Cam Stone. How about that? Great coverage. And there's a look at Chandler Dolphin right there. That offensive line playing well. And that That makes us think, what about all these different animal names around college football this season?
Oh, what's your
Good
favorite?
ones, too.
Caleb Ducking, I like. He does the duck dance, you know, after touchdowns. Fish McWilliams is a star. I mean, obviously.
Storm Duck. I kind
Yeah.
of like Buck Coors. That seems to be fitting for
I mean, we have
West Conference.
We have Buck Coors and Chandler Dolphin here.
In the same game?
A mammal? A couple of them.
Yeah, they would both be mammals.
Yeah, they both are. Not Fish McWilliams, though.
DQ James taken down by Daniel Greshik. So, you know when you have a 9-yard run and it's your worst run of the game, things are going pretty well for you if you're DQ James.
Yeah, he's been a fire plug, kind of spelling Titus Swen, who's been great. But, I mean, when you play tight football and you want to run the ball and you want to be physical, you're going to play tight games. And that means mistakes, penalties, things like that. If you're Wyoming, you just can't have. This is a big job for them here to reestablish themselves.
From the 24, Peasley's going to keep it himself, picks up the first down and then some.
Looks like a lot of things were being set up here. What was Welch doing? Was he going out for a pass? Yeah, it looked like he was, and Peasley just made a decision quickly to run it and got up underneath the route that Welch was running and converted the first down. Savvy play and quick thinking from Andrew Peasley, the captain.
DQ James takes a seat. Titus Swen back in the game. And Peasley complete to Wheeland again. Fourth catch of the game for Wheeland. Leading receiver on the night for Wyoming.
Holisek doing a good job now, kind of mixing it up, getting Peasley more involved with straight dropbacks, getting the wide receivers involved like Wheeland and Cobbs. Still a tight end run-heavy offense, but they've made some tweaks and opened things up a little bit more as they've really kind of won the line of scrimmage to this point in the game.
It's Brosh in a running back on 2nd and 6. And a little jet sweep action to Pellissier. Pellissier picks up the first down. I like the way the Polisek's mixing things up here as the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys.
Yeah, they bring Will Pellissier, who's not been available for quite some time. The sophomore out of Bighorn, Wyoming, back on the dress list for this game, and they get him in and get him the ball right away on the perimeter. If you want to get the ball to a receiver and you want to make sure that he gets the ball, you got to call a run play.
Well, that one worked out well. Swan out of the I formation, and look how hard he runs. Picks up an additional 4 yards after first contact.
And that's where that play is supposed to go. You're going to see Driscoll come here and kick out, and the tailback's got to get underneath that. He has some help from Jackson Marcotte, the tight end out there as well. And they are doing a good job of reestablishing themselves and the line of scrimmage after the Aggies' touchdown drive.
So now in plus territory on the Utah State 45, 2nd and 3. Quick pass to Wheeland, and Wheeland inside the 40 picking up the first down. Catch number 5 for Wyatt Wheeland, who is quietly approaching 100 yards on the night.
Yeah, he had the 2 big catches in the first half, and now starting to become a more consistent early down contributor to what they're doing offensively. We'll take a look at this for some reason.
Officials trying to sort through some things here.
Something might have happened with Joshua Cobbs as a couple of his teammates, Zach Watts and Andrew Peasley, are talking to him. And not sure what they'd be reviewing. A targeting. Oh, how about that? A targeting away from the ball.
Let's see here.
See, yeah, well, he's on the ball, but there's Cobbs. Oh, that, it's not Cobbs. It's They're calling targeting there. We're looking at it at least. Yeah, he did duck the head. That's Gervin Hall Jr., the senior out of West Palm Beach, Florida, transfer from Miami. He did come in with the head down, but...
Came in with the head down, but...
You're trying to get your head in front in that situation.
And Whelan ducked just a little bit at the last minute, which I think is tough for the defender. I think this would be a tough call on Gervin Hall.
It would be when we've seen it. You know, that's the thing is people look for a cut and dry answer in this, and there's always different people making the decisions. But I have seen a lot of that where the runner ducks down and the DB or whoever the defender is ducking at the same time, and they do usually pick up that flag. Dean has seen it too, though, and he knows it all. Dean, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
Oh, great to see you.
Great to see you. Great to see my old friend Dan Hellie. But let's talk about this play here. Defender's lowering his head. To me, this is more of just a collision. This isn't him lowering his head to attack with the crown of the helmet. I understand there's some helmet-to-helmet contact, but he's trying to bring his hands through. The runner's going to drop his head, and there's going to be that collision. I don't really see an attack with the crown of the helmet for purposes of targeting. Now, replay's going to look at all the elements, and if they can confirm it, they're going to add the foul. I just don't see it here.
I agree. That's kind of what I saw, and that's why Dean's so good. He makes it so digestible for dummies like me.
After further review, there is no target on the play. First down.
How lucky are we?
Very.
To have Dean Blandino and Mike Pereira on staff.
Interesting targeting call there to stop the game for that, where it was a collision where the runner had his head down, just like Dean said. Also very interesting that they didn't tell anybody that they were looking at targeting or throw a flag. But we move on.
And the right no call was made. Certainly Gervin Hall, happy camper. Brosh is running back. Looked like Peasley tried to pull that for a second. Patrick Joyner on the stop.
Yeah, when you have a new running back in there, a guy like Joey Brosh, redshirt freshman, getting excited for his opportunity. Sometimes that ball's in your gut. You don't want to let the quarterback have it back.
Wyoming running tempo on 2nd and 6. This time he does pull it, gets rid of it. He was looking for Titus Swen, but it was low and behind him.
Heck of a fake with Brosh there. And it almost looked like he should have given it to him. Swen wants out of the game. A little tired after the route. Yeah, he pulls it.
Oh, it looked like he got tipped, too.
Yeah, it was like a triple option play, really.
That was a tough throw for a right-handed quarterback rolling to his left, too. 3rd and 6 now.
And going forward.
Yeah. Nearly picked off. That was Hall. Had a beat on it. Looked like it hit him right in the hands, but he came out of there like a bolt of lightning.
He throws it hard, Peasley does, unable to step up, and I just don't think he saw Gervin Hall there, because if he did, there's no way you follow through on that ball. He thought Wyatt Whelan was coming across clean, and he was not.
So another 50-plus yard attempt, this one from 51 for John Hoyland. And this one is good with plenty of room to spare. Man, does that kid have a leg?
Utah State, they want to find a way to stay on the field.
Four-man rush from Wyoming. Here's Davenport, decides to tuck it and run. And then he was wrapped up right away. That's Omatosho.
Olu Omatosho kind of battling at the line of scrimmage. And the second Davenport takes that lane, Omatosho cuts him off, creates a 4th down situation. Jay Soffel's defense looking good.
Whelan back, lets the punt bounce. Oh, so close. In for the touchback, almost down inside the 1. Look at this.
First, you got to locate it, right? And then once you locate it, you got to chase it down. And
easier said than done.
yeah, great chance for it. Game of inches there. And here comes this angry Wyoming Cowboy offense. Ready to run the ball. Fight at the line of scrimmage.
Smile coming from the former Aggie, Andrew Peasley. Have the lead, but certainly not comfortable as the flag's flying, sitting on a 6-point lead over Utah State. As Peasley's still smiling as he's talking to some of his former teammates.
Ball start, number 65 offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
You know, Peasley wanted to stay. He really liked life at Utah State. He had already graduated, but he wanted to start. He wanted to play. And Logan Bonner was the guy going into the season. And Peasley had the opportunity to come to Laramie and start. So far, it's worked out pretty well for him.
Pretty good feelings all around with Peasley's transfer, which you don't always see.
Swen looked to be on his way to picking up the first down before he was wrapped up by Andre Grayson.
Yeah, he got the 5 back, and it looked like he was going to break it for more as we get into the 4th.
So a 6-point ball game here in Laramie on homecoming. The Cowboys cling to a lead, but Utah State playing better in the second half. Fox College Football is sponsored by Chase Sapphire. Make more of what's yours. Oh man, they know how to have fun in Laramie. There's no doubt about
That's
it.
right. They have rhythm.
Some of them, maybe. DQ James breaking a tackle. All he does is pick up first downs. DQ James.
It's Greshik, who's right on top of him, number 9, right when he gets the ball, and a little guy breaks a tackle of a big guy, fights his way through, and then those live legs take him down the field for another first down. Look at the rushing yards for Wyoming's offense, and they came in trying to establish that, and man, they sure have.
That was a 3rd carry of the game for 10 yards or more for James, and he only has 4 carries. Wyatt Wieland is having a career game. That's an 11-yard catch for Wieland. And he now has 6 for 94.
Yeah, pretty big cushion there, about 3 or 4 yards from Onyanwu. Wieland has no problem coming out of his route, getting his head around and catching that ball, and Peasley's been a lot more accurate down the stretch here.
Peasley throwing again. It's the tight end, Welch. Shy of the first down, 7-yard gain.
Trayton Welch, 6'3", 242, catching that ball out of the perimeter and running to the middle like Randy Moss. I mean, very athletic-looking big guy out there.
Swen on 2nd and 3 picks up the first down.
Inside the 45.
And after
Look at the collision here between Swen and Moa. Ooh, big collision there. Siona Moa came in when MJ Tafisi went down earlier in the game. He is their most productive linebacker. Tafisi is. There's Vaughn Pachon, who's been in the game and also very productive.
DQ James again, and you mentioned him early. There's Moa again on the stop.
It looked like he saved a touchdown here because of how fast DQ James is. He goes the other way from the fullback. Just a violent collision there from Moa out of Ogden, Utah. Just a redshirt freshman. Only 5 tackles coming into this game, making an impact here in this series.
James remains in the game at running back on 2nd and 8 for Wyoming. It was Wheeland who was the intended target.
Looked like a good idea. Maybe a little too much zip on that ball, but for whatever reason, it got by Wheeland in a hurry. And now a 3rd and long situation. Utah State trying to get the ball back.
Ball on the 41. And remember, John Hoyland, the kicker, has a leg. He's made a 55-yarder this season, a 51-yarder tonight. Blitz coming, and down goes Peasley. There's Moa again. He has had a big drive for this Aggie defense.
I think Peasley thought that blitz was going to be picked up, and it looked like it was for a second, but Moa just keeps on coming. You see he gets blocked there a little bit by Joey Brosh, but not enough. Brosh didn't take over.
Yeah, he put him on his back on that drive. This time it's Davenport using his wheels. And this is what I'm surprised, Petros, we haven't seen more of from the freshman quarterback, are some of these design runs. And I don't know if he just decided to take off and that was a quarterback draw, or...
Oh, I think he designed that one. He kept it. You know, the only thing I would think is, you know, who's behind him if he gets hurt.
Well, that's a valid point.
But absolutely, I've been waiting to see Davenport use his legs as well. He can run a pretty nifty 2-man game if he establishes himself pulling that ball between him and Calvin Tyler. And the last 2 plays, it seems like they've been able to do that.
Just shy of the 26-yard line. Quick throw, 1st down. Tremendous catch by Brian Cobbs, and then manages to stay inbounds and pick up an extra 8 yards. That goes in the books as a 16-yard catch for Cobbs.
Really decisive, clean-looking play and well delivered by Bishop Davenport over to Brian Cobbs, who's been productive tonight.
Davenport again. This time picks up 2. Bertinoli is there to fall on top of him.
You know, the Wyoming defense been out there tonight, but not too much.
Nice job by Davenport to handle that high snap and then deliver the handoff as Isaac White comes in there to make sure that they don't pick up more than a couple.
Yeah, and Bertinoli, too, is just on the bottom of every pile. And I'm really impressed with Isaac White, the free safety. They play him very close to the line of scrimmage, trying to stifle Calvin Tyler and keep Utah State from getting a rhythm with their running back.
Isaac White from Pottstown, PA. Not too many Pennsylvania guys on this Wyoming roster.
No, I mean, Jim Kick came from New Jersey. You get some pretty interesting guys find their way to Laramie.
Davenport on 3rd and 7. He overshoots Josh Sturzer.
Olu Omatosho really bearing down on him, and that made that throw too far, but he was wide open. Sturzer was. See him just kind of floating out to the edge. Defender goes with McGriff. Great idea, just too much pressure to execute the play. And the Wyoming defense, which is pretty well rested considering the first half, forces a stop.
Constantly's punt end over end. And Wheeland makes sure that he firmly brings that ball in. Fair catch inside the 20. We're back after this. One of the greats of all time in Wyoming history, Josh Allen, first-round draft pick of the Buffalo Bills. And along with Patrick Mahomes, probably one of the two best quarterbacks in football right now. Made a name for himself in Wyoming. You know what I think the most impressive thing about Josh Allen is? The big knock on him coming out of Wyoming. Not very accurate. Look at the completion percentage. And he's gotten better almost each and every single year in the NFL.
He's been awesome. Very likable guy, easy to root for as well.
DQ. And he runs like he was shot out of the Bridger rifle.
Yeah, he really does. Loaded up with gunpowder, and he's not big. You know, only 172 pounds. You know, sometimes guys 5'7", they round out to 200, and they're very difficult to tackle. This guy doesn't have that weight on him, and he still is really physical as far as trying to break tackles and not afraid of contact. You're right, he does really fire through that hole.
2nd and 2 coming up. James averaging almost 10 yards per carry tonight. And he is not going to get 10 here, but he is going to get the first down. John Ward on the stop. And they're just keeping James in the game for now. Why not? Yeah,
they like him and the way he's running the ball, and that helps them out. They like having 2 tailback sets, and DeWine McNeely, a guy they really like, the sophomore, has got a hand problem. So now that they've established DQ James, they can run these 2-back sets with both running backs.
And this time it's Beasley keeping it himself. And now you have a 3-headed monster in the running game. First down, gain of 11 for Beasley.
That's exactly right. You got to worry about all 3 guys. Here comes the 2 backs coming across the formation. Beasley pulls and keeps, gets a good block from Jack Walsh, who's played great as a freshman in this game, only his 2nd career start.
This time it's Swen as the lone back. And Swen with a hole. Ends with a stiff arm. He's finally taken down by Vongpachon. And that's a 19-yard gain for Swen. What a night he's having.
Yeah, real establishing himself as one of the best backs in the Mountain West. Gets outside Vongpachon as Zach Watts puts a good block on him. Finishes the play with violence. And Wyoming's got some momentum here, and they're running clock. Some fancy formations now.
Pressure coming, ball up, and Beasley just trying to throw it in the direction of Trayton Welch.
They've been aggressive on first down, trying to throw the ball. That was off a lot of play action, a lot of window dressing, and then a lot of motion in the play action play, but it stops the clock here when you were getting a great push. See if they can reestablish that on 2nd down, but looks like they wanted to get a big chunk there, and they weren't able to do it.
James, room. First down and more. DQ James down to the 8-yard line.
Broke at least 4 tackles there.
29-yard pickup.
Everybody moving to the right. It's a zone play, a big hole. Looked like in the B gap there between the guard and tackle, and James leaving Hunter Reynolds on his behind with his cuts, and then finishes in a Titus Swen-like way. That's reestablishing the line of scrimmage after an incomplete pass on first down for sure.
Titus Swen checking back in. Caleb Driscoll in at fullback. Here's Swen. And And Swen is inside the 10-yard line. Moa on the stop.
Just inside the 10-yard line, gain is 3 on.
So we have potentially 2 running backs in this game for Wyoming that could be over 100 yards, very similar to what happened last year when Xavier Valladay and Titus Swen absolutely torched this Utah State defense. But you have DQ James, who came into the day with 23 rushing yards on the season, now sitting at 91. And this is Brosh in the game on 2nd and 7. He gets the carry. And Brosh down to the 6-yard line. Clock still running. That's a gain of 4.
He's a different looking back. Out of Columbus, Nebraska, another freshman, 6'1", 218 pounds. He's a big guy, and they have some long backs in DeWine McNeely, who is 6'2", 198. Brosh 6'1", as we see Greshik is down, and that's bad news for the Aggies.
Daniel Greshik, we talked about that game that he had last week against Colorado State. 3 sacks, forced fumble, pass breakup, as Blake Anderson comes to check on his talented defensive end. Played at Crenshaw High School in Los Angeles.
Cougars.
Again, on a T for you.
Crenshaw High School, immortalized in the film Boys in the Hood.
And I believe the TV show The All-American.
Oh, come on. DeAnthony Thomas, Hayes Pillard. Good to see Greshik up and moving after they were checking on that ankle, it looks like.
Absolutely. First year at Utah State after coming over from Nevada and walking off the field on his own power.
But the most famous Crenshaw Cougar, Darryl Strawberry. Come on.
He went to Crenshaw.
Oh, yeah.
Did not know that.
The straw dog from Crenshaw.
Man, he could play. Sweet swing.
6-yard line, 3rd and 3.
3rd down here.
Big 3rd down play coming up. 9th play of the drive. This is the first 3rd down. And we look at Titus Swen, who is sitting on 154 rushing yards. Let's see if he can pick up 3.5 right here. How about a little more? How about one more touchdown for Titus Swen? 3 on the night.
What a block by Caleb Driscoll on Sione Moa, who's been good. Watch Moa come and meet the fullback. Nice job by Caleb Driscoll walling him off. And you see Zach Watts finishing his block in the end zone with a pancake. Titus Swen tapping his head. He's a little tired.
What a great job by this Wyoming offensive line. They wanted to play smash mouth football. They ran for 363 yards in last year's game. 302 yards tonight. You know, one thing I didn't think we would see? I didn't think we'd see Titus Swen matching last year's total of 169 yards. He's 9 yards shy of doing that tonight.
It's been that kind of night, and Coach Bonda is going to hate watching this tape because he was worried. That's Max Alford who's being helped off. He was worried that this team was going to try to bow up and run his team over, and he tried to challenge his guys during the week to stand up to that, and I feel like they were very much in that headspace to do so. But when your offense is having a hard time converting and getting first downs, there's Coach Bonda right there, the defense just gets taxed and stretched a little too thin. They don't have MJ Tafisi, who came out. Moa's been pretty good, but overall Wyoming has just taken it out of them and controlled this line of scrimmage exactly what they came into the game trying to do, and they're going for 2.
Swen again waltzing into the end zone. And it is a 14-point lead for the Cowboys. Everybody's going to be celebrating on homecoming in Laramie. What a night for the run game. a monster big noon Saturday. Heisman candidate C.J. Stroud leading number 2 Ohio State into their biggest test of the year so far against number 16 Penn State. All starting at 10 a.m. Eastern with the big noon kickoff crew live from Happy Valley, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Titus Swen. Man, what a day it has been for him in this Wyoming rushing attack. A career high 28 carries for 160 yards. And you got this Utah State defense. It's just looking a little beaten down, man. They have been battling and battling, but haven't been able to hang on to Titus Swen or DQ James at this point because they've just been a little bit too much to handle for this Aggie D. 4 minutes and 9 seconds to make something happen. This is Terrell Vaughn staying on his feet out past the 35-yard line. Good way to get things started here. Time for our players of the game, sponsored by Chase Sapphire. Make more of what is yours. So you have Titus Swen and DQ James, who have 251 yards combined, Petros. That's more than Utah State, who has 201 as a team.
And they've both been great, kind of a thunder and lightning, but kind of a thunder and thunder as well, just because of the play of this offensive line. Eric Aboje, Zach Watts, Nofo Afia, Tulifono, Jack Walsh, and Frank Crum, the starters tonight, have been fabulous.
Here's Davenport running into the back of Calvin Tyler, but still manages to pick up 7. Did we hit them all? Did you hit every offensive lineman? Because
all
they all
starters.
deserve a shout out. Yeah.
All the guys that I saw out there.
Perfect. Because they've been great tonight.
Well, Pregnon is out, their starting right guard, and Jack Walsh has been just really, really solid, making a lot of big blocks to free guys up in his stead.
Well, you mentioned earlier his first career start came against New Mexico. Then comes the bye week, and then he's back. 3rd and 2 here for Bishop Davenport in Utah State. Tyler breaks a tackle in the backfield, gets right to the sticks, and I believe they're going to give it to him.
He's fought hard in this game, broke the tackle of a 6'4", 280-pound man in the backfield, the nose tackle, Gavin Meyer. Usually a guy like that gets his hands on you in the backfield. Plays over.
Four-man rush for Wyoming. Davenport gets rid of it. That one is complete. And that's Kyrese Rowan, sophomore from Roy High School in Ogden, Utah, on the catch. 2nd and 8. Pressure coming. Davenport cannot escape. Gavin Meyer was there. Had a little help from Devon Harris. We have 2:12 left in the game. Timeout's been called by Utah State. This Wyoming defense getting it done. We are back to wrap things up after this. This Wyoming defense has been wreaking havoc all night. They held Utah State to just 10 first-half rushing yards. They came into the game with 19 sacks. They've added 5 more to that total tonight, Petros.
And they kept the young quarterback from really gaining any confidence. Big pick there from Wyatt Eckler. Sui Anoa doing a great job in this one. A lot of great play from the guys up front. Devon Harris, Burton Ole.
That's Robert Briggs breaking off a 7-yard run. Omotosho on the stop. And let's not forget they're playing without one of their captains, one of their best defensive players, and Cole Goodbow, the defensive tackle, who's out with an injury.
Yeah, he's out. They think they might get him back at some point this season, but I'll tell you what, they've developed some great depth there. Without him, they've had some really, really good effort today from their front seven.
And here's Davenport again, just nowhere to go. That's Devon Harris, first one there. And this Wyoming defense is just swarming to the football.
Yeah, they can smell it now, and they know a victory is coming. The Aggies trying to get down and cut everybody down and get their arms down. And Davenport was supposed to get rid of that ball a lot sooner. He didn't. They end up sacking him. Like those glasses.
Oh, Bridger's rifle. The traveling trophy was established back in 2013. It's a authentic Rocky Mountain Hawk and rifle named after Jim Bridger, mountain man, Army scout. Spent some time in both Utah and Wyoming back in the day.
Did a lot of trapping.
Yes, big time trapper. Timeout Wyoming with 1:38 to go. And for Wyoming, the most fascinating thing to me is that they came into this season as the third youngest team in FBS. They had 3 seniors and either 59 freshmen or redshirt freshmen. They thought maybe this could be a rebuilding year. Well, maybe not. This is a pretty good football team here. And look at the remaining schedule. Obviously, Boise State's tough, but, you know.
That's a huge matchup.
That's one to circle on your calendars for November 19th.
Boise State, and then Jake Hayner, you hope is back for Fresno State, who will be a much different looking team with him, though. They won today with Fife at quarterback and dominated.
Here's James, and James has a lot of room. DQ James with a 24-yard run goes over the 100-yard mark for the game.
And you don't want to be Gervin Hall in this situation. He actually does a great job of tackling a guy in the open field like that when you're the only one is really hard. And DQ tries to set him up there with the dead leg cut to the outside. Hall does a good job of keeping his eyes on those hips and not letting him go. Nice job by him. But to your point earlier about Wyoming, I agree. I mean, when you have a team that can win the line of scrimmage and you have a quarterback who can run the ball and deliver it, they got some good tight ends. Obviously, we've seen their running backs and a tough D.
And just eating up that clock. Davian Coleman on the tackle in Wyoming. I'd say if you had a checklist after the game saying, all right, we wanted to do this and we did that, they've checked every box.
Everything they talked about doing coming into this game. Coach Bull coming out of the bye week, the long week 0 all the way until this moment. Able to revitalize that team, tweak some things, come back and get a quality win at home against a tough opponent.
Well, if there was any PTSD after what Wyoming did to Utah State last year, it's certainly not over yet. They ran roughshod all over Utah State once again, 529 total yards, 2 100-yard rushers for the first time since the last time they played Utah State. And how about that? First win at home against Utah State since 2016. What a game for Titus Swen, DQ James.
Check out DQ, he's got the Barry Bonds earring.
We're looking for the Bridger's rifle, P. It's
Gotta
down
give
there
it to
somewhere.
DQ, yeah, pick it up.
It is funny. Craig Bowles said one of his NFL friends texted him after last year's game and saw him walking around the field with a rifle. He said, what's going on there in Laramie, coach?
It's a trophy, everybody. It's not as scary as the cannon.
And there you have Andrew Peasley hugging it out with all those old coaches and teammates after spending 4 years at Utah State. What a sweet win this is for him. And up next for Wyoming. You saw that schedule earlier. They head to Hawaii. And then they have some time off before they're at Colorado State. 3 out of their final 4 games are on the road. The big one against Boise State that we talked about earlier is going to be in Laramie. As for Utah State, they're going to have some time off before they have New Mexico up next. And there it is. Bridger's rifle.
Oh, Jim Bridger would be proud.
It's not loaded. It's not loaded.
No.
they're all looking like pigeons. And that will do it from Laramie. 28-14. What a win for the Cowboys. Smash mouth punishing. They got it done on the ground. They got it done with defense. They just got it done on homecoming.